Welcome everybody. My name is Sasha and I'm the marketing manager here at the Cloud People. And today I'm really honored because we have a special guest with us, you Camilla, and also you Sandra. But today you are going to present your journey from 18 service portals to one unified experience. And I will not do the talking, or I will not be on stage today. But I will. We have a poll at the end, and if we have any questions, then please write them in the chat, and then we will take them in the Q&A after this presentation. And then I will just jump off and leave the word to you, Camilla and Sandra.
All right, thank you very much, Sasha. So we'll quickly introduce ourselves, and then, of course, the guest. And Camilla, please, could you introduce yourself? Who are you? And you're the main star for being through the journey.
Yeah, I am Camilla, and I'm working at Bertel O, and I'm the owner of ServiceNow within Bertel O. And
Yeah. I'm then Sondre Pedersen, a solution architect here at the Cloud People, and I've worked with Camilla for several years and been through the journey from the first portal to the 18 portals into one. So here to just try to gather as much information for you guys from Camilla on the journey she has been on together with us. Let's quickly go through the agenda. We'll then start who is Bertel O. We'll then go into the journey. A project, there's a lot of key challenges, so we'll go through them. Also then look at the employee center implementation journey and how they did it. And of course, look at then what are the most key learnings that Camilla learned from this. So just quickly with the live storm, there is a question section. So please do write in the question section. I will take them later on, as Sasha mentioned, as well as in the chat if anything is not working as expected. And poll at the end. But the main focus is really to learn from Bertel O and get the most details out. So we'll jump straight into this, Camilla. So who is Bertel O?
We are quite a big company, actually, and we don't only do cars, as many probably are familiar with. We are most knownly for cars, but we have a lot of other things to do as well within real estate and other types of brands like shoes, like Viking, and so on. And as you see, we're quite a big company. And it's family owned for approximately more than 120 years. And we're kind of built up by some of our dealers are owned and some of our dealers are not owned by us, but are dealing with our brands and so on. So that's also why we needed ServiceNow to figure out how to provide the best services to all our different types of customers then.
Yeah, with the complexity and especially the both the external and internal employees who all need the same support, and as well as you can see there are a lot of different brands who always have different needs, but we'll get more into that later.
Yeah. So that's kind of the complexity of how and why we needed to look into other types of portals than just the 18 ones.
Yes. All right, so where did the journey start with ServiceNow, Camilla?
It started with us on IT, of course, where a lot of people start needing a new system to handle our tickets. And we kind of looked around and figured out that our closest partners were also using ServiceNow. So we thought, okay, then we'll start with this. And kind of that's where the journey began. We started with something, what's it called again? The
ServiceNow Express.
Yeah, ServiceNow Express. And that was kind of the light version of what ServiceNow were back in the days. And then we built on further on from there. actually. Yeah.
So of course, it started with the ServiceNow Express quite light version, but you quickly grew out of that, didn't you? So what was the next step? And you probably then, what is the first portal you looked at?
It was for IT, of course, and all the things we, like, as IT department, provides to the rest of the firm, and that's why kind of where the journey began, actually, where we needed to figure out how to give self-service and where that was needed, and all of the types of services you need to do within IT, and also ordering things and getting help and so on.
Yeah. And from my understanding, I remember that you did something very bold that I know a lot of customers are struggling and are afraid to do. You cut out all email communication to IT. Is that correct? And they had to then go through this IT portal. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. We did that because we needed to have the information in, and so that the people at the IT support could start to work with the cases without reaching out to the end users once more to get enough information. So yeah, we took a bold choice to switch off all the email communication towards IT, actually.
And how was this? What did the business say when you this is bold choice?
Well, as you probably know, most of people like the familiar things and always think the familiar is the easiest one. And of course, it was a bit of a struggle in the beginning, but afterwards they saw that we were able to provide the good service within the forms instead of the email communication. So I think that in the end, we're beginning to see that we were easier, or it was faster to answer the certain issues than it would be before, when we didn't have enough information to start working on their task straight away.
That is very true. And having it always goes then to the right team, the quicker, and then usually if you can then provide a better service, then of course it's way easier to then get them to start using it.
True.
And I think we as well have here on the slides, we then have a picture of the first IT portal. And of course that is using the old service portal technology. It was simple, but it seems like it was very effective, and it did it work. And
yeah, and we were quite happy also. We thought we created a really good portal, actually, with the pictures and everything, and we kind of thought that it was quite cool at that time.
And it was
yeah,
cool at that time.
We also thought that we had kind of it's an easy one to use from our perspective, at least. Yeah, and also that kind of the feedback in the beginning, but then it started to get a bit more complicated with we needed more, and several departments needed more. So that's also why we expanded to more portals, because there were several departments, not only IT, but the other departments within Bertel O as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is where we go on the next part of your journey, right? As you mentioned, there are, of course, IT was the forerunner. They are the ones doing the bold choices of actually moving people over to stop using email and then going into the portal. And then you started with the economy and logistics. Those were the two next in line. How did that start, and how was the journey on getting them on board, or did they come to you?
Yeah, at first it was the logistic part, because they had kind of a service center for all the logistic things that happens in our business. And so they also needed a better system to handle their tickets. So they came to us, and they were really, good. And we had kind of a small training session with them, and they were kind of up and running in no time, because they were familiar with using systems from before. And ServiceNow, as easy as it is, actually, they were up and running in no time. So, and they are still kind of our biggest customer within Bertel O that are using ServiceNow. Yeah. So they have a lot of forms and a lot of other things behind it. Yeah.
And then you had the economy. Was that the same with them, or were they a bit more challenging?
A bit more challenging because they were kind of a different group of people, and they were there were like 50 people that were supposed to get into ServiceNow at once, and they had never had any support system in that way that the logistics had. So it was everything was brand new for them. So they were a bit, we had a little different approach there. We had a couple of days of training actually within different groups and so on. But after that, they also kind of easily got into ServiceNow and how to use it. So yeah.
Because you as IT, you provided the developers and you set up this portal as well, right?
Yep.
You set it up after their wishes.
Yep.
And then it was just about, of course, the training and how are you actually going to be using it on the background. But you also then tried to give the different areas what they needed in their specific portals.
Yeah, within the
framework.
Standard, because I'm really fond of using the out-of-the-box functionality, and that was also what we were using within all of those as well.
Yeah.
So we kind of made it for them, but within the out-of-the-box functionality.
Yeah, that is key.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then of course, next on the journey, then if we go forward around 4 years, then we sit at now 18 different portals. How was the journey from these 3 at the start, and now you're at 18? So tell me about, was it as easy? Did you have to go out to the business and push them to come into using ServiceNow, or what was the tactic to try to get more and more areas into using the platform, as I know a lot of other customers are struggling with today?
Yeah, it was kind of a bit of both. We started with pushing, and in some parts that worked fine, but other parts were kind of still not convinced that this was a good way to go. So then we just, we'll let them be for now, and then go on with the ones that wanted this, and try to kind of convince them by going through the others and show how good it is and what values it gives for the other ones. So that was kind of the strategy, and yeah, it wasn't all easy. It was a little bit back and forth, and you needed to be patient in sometimes because I know what kind of value it will give to them, because I know and understand the ServiceNow system, but it's not always that easy to convince them and show them. And yeah, so it was a bit back and forth, and also, as I said, using the other ones that were wanting to use it and letting them go first, and then the other ones could see, oh, okay, it actually works for them. Maybe this will work for us as well. So yeah, that was kind of the journey from there, I think. Yeah,
that's a good thing, and I think that's a lot of the learnings is for other customers as well, is getting more and more. And then also I remember you told me that other areas were like asking, oh, aren't you using ServiceNow? That also probably helps to get those ambassadors out there in the business to, okay, I wanted to send you a ticket. This shouldn't have gone here. Then why are you on using the platform? Or
yeah, that's true. We have different importers within our company. So like for Kia, for example, all the aftermarkets people were on the portal, but not the salespersons. So like they were asking, why isn't the salespersons on? And for Stellantis, that's another brand company within our department. There were the salespeople were using it, but not the aftermarket people. And they were like, why are not they using this? Because this is easy, and it would be easy for us when we get a question that they could answer to just put it forward to them instead of sending them an email. So that's kind of also the benefits of, start with the ones that wants it, and then maybe the other ones will come after, because because of needs from the other ones.
Exactly. Get those ambassadors out there in the business, and when they start seeing the value, then they will then drive the adoption automatically in this way.
Yeah. And also kind of we set up different meetings with the different people, like for example, for Stellantis, where we have quarterly meetings to go through what's new, is there something you wonder about, is there something you're struggling with, and so on. And the progress I saw during these meetings is like they will ask a question within the meeting, and before I am able to answer the question, some other ones are answering the question. So they are kind of learning from each other as well within the same group. So that's also kind of nice that the more familiar they are being with the system, they are starting to use more and more and could learn each other.
That's really good. But of course, using when you go to the complexity of getting so many different areas, of course, there has to be some key challenges, right? And I think of course, we listed up some here, but maybe Camilla, you can share some insights on what were some of the challenges you started to hear with the complexity of 18 different portals, so many different brands and areas starting using the platform, and of course using it out of the box and using standardized portals. But of course, there's a set of complexity with that as well.
Yeah, our end users are mostly the different dealers around in our country, and they were kind of a bit complaining about when we have 18 portals, then it's not always that easy to figure out, okay, where should I send this question or this issue or whatever. So that was kind of the feedback, that they were starting to struggle a bit where to send it. It was also like when we had several email addresses, like
it's the same
which
issue.
one to use to, yeah. So that was kind of one of the biggest issues that we needed to maybe merge it into one, so it was easier for them to navigate. And also the fact that all of those portals were mainly created by the different areas. So not by asking the user, what do you want, but by them saying, oh, I think we need this. Yes. We need this. And yeah, so it was kind of not built on what the user actually wanted, but more of what the
business the business wanted and what they think the end users want, right? What are our users, what are their needs?
Yeah, that's true. So that was kind of the feedback we were getting, and we saw that there was a possibility to do something about that. And we like doing new things and
to be the forerunner of new things. And by chance there was then come a new product from ServiceNow.
Yeah, it was.
So that is a part of the next process, right? Because now then 2022 or when it was, then Employee Center was launched by ServiceNow, and then they have seen this problem probably with a lot of different customers out there, and they say, okay, a lot of people are using now, it's just not an IT tool anymore. You have finance, HR, as well as Bertel O, who has a lot of extra things with all the brands.
Yeah.
And then that's where we started with the design process, right? How are we now going to shift from listening to the business and listen to the end users, right?
Yeah.
So that was a part of the assessment phase that we started looking at, okay, what are the key things that we need to take into this project? And then, of course, the second step, and I think one of the key ones, is the personas, right?
Yeah, that's true. We kind of figure out different personas within our company to figure out how to set up the portal in the best way to make it fit for them, actually. And that's kind of the twist. Instead of making it fit for us, we made it fit for them instead. And also it was quite funny to figure out what they actually wanted, and it wasn't that far from what we thought, but there were some differences that were kind of others than we had in mind. So yeah, and for example, the search field, they were really they all said that, oh, we need a search field because everyone wants to search for things, and after a while we kind of figured out that, well, search is not not that important, but yeah, and the journey with going through whole of the process for figuring out with what you actually need to have in place, what you need to look into to figure out how the business wants it. And also we kind of, as you said, we are kind of complex. We have different personas within the company, both like out with the dealers, but our main office also is quite big with different people and different how to work with things. So we kind of
also mechanics, right?
Yeah.
So not everyone is.
No, so we kind of had we kind of fetched the different types of users to figure out what would fit everyone best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of, and that was really interesting to do with interviews and yeah, with everyone.
Really then looking into and actually talking out with the business. So you then have, when you came out before you actually implemented anything, you then had understanding, right, of what, then you have a report with, these are the findings we actually had, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, you talked about you're a big fan of out of the box, right? So you wanted to do this quite quickly, right?
Yep, that's
so
true.
That's so you did the first implementation start from the assessment phase to the last implementation. That was done in 3 months, right?
Yep.
So that's quite impressive and delivering something that quick. But of course, that's part of it. So. Let's go. These are some of the findings that we have. So this was from the old portal. Like the navigation is quite easy, but you could search. It probably would be better to find specific parts to enter. And that was from the old 18 portals into the new one, right? So that was the assumption on the first one.
Yeah.
And also one other. So 5 out of 5 users reported lack of quick search options. So that's one of the key things you found, because at the old portals you didn't have any search, right?
No.
So it was just you had to navigate and find things that way.
Yep.
So this, as we discussed, the start of the employee experience journey, that was started in 2023, or the start of 22, and then into you went live, I think Easter in 23.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the first one, right?
Yeah.
And here we can also see a picture of that one. And as we said and discussed, you worked, okay, you wanted something quick, you wanted it personalized, and you wanted to use as much out of the box as possible.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good representation of the first one, or the portal, right?
Yeah, that's true. With a lot of other things that we do, like even though if you upgrade something, you're not finished with it. So yeah,
because you weren't done, right? Or
no.
is this what you have today?
No, this is not the final product.
You don't have
I don't think we have the final product either, but we have another even better version than this, actually.
All right. So because you didn't stop with that one, right? So now then, what was the next step? You did it 2024, then you started a new project, right?
Yeah, we did. And we kind of needed to brand it even more towards Bertel O to make it more Bertel O feel and look, and see if we could do it even better than, kind of get rid of all the white space, and then also kind of, the look and feel needed to be more. We wanted to highlight the things we wanted them to be concerned about or looking into, and kind of try to make it a bit more personalized as well.
Yeah.
With like, hello Camilla, good morning, and so on. So and then we kind of took it to the next step, and that was also done by TCP during one summer, actually.
was 2
So
months
during
then.
my summer vacation, when I came back, it was all done. So, but though I don't have 2 months summer vacation, of course.
No,
But
of course not. But
but yeah,
in theory,
in theory,
so
that would be nice. So yeah, but during the summer, or before the summer, we got a couple of different views from the TCP to look into which kind of look and feel do we want. So we kind of challenged TCP to give us a new look, and they gave us 3 options. And I think both me and the team that I work with in TCP were instantly drawn to one of those. And I showed it to my boss as well, and he was like, "This is the one." So yeah, and then we went for that, and all of the configuration was done during the summer, as I said. And after the summer, we were ready to launch it.
yeah, but
So,
of course, then in this before you went live with this as well, you did your research as well, right?
yeah, of course. We also with the new portal, you are able to look into which areas of the portal are used. Are the search being used? Are the portals like a menu being used?
The user flow.
The user flow. When they use the menu, do they click and come to the end, or do they abort and go another place, and so on? So we looked at those data and figured out actually that the search field were not at all that much used. So then we figured out that, okay, in our next view, we don't need to highlight the search field that much. We need to focus more on the menu and make that more easy, because they were using the menu a lot more than they were using the search field. And that was kind of the biggest wow for us, because of everyone that said we needed a search field.
Yeah, so that's.
But then it kind of looks like they're more happy with the menu actually. So maybe we were really good at. Right? Yeah, it was a new menu, but maybe we were really good at creating a menu then. I'm not sure, but yeah. So then we figured out that, okay, in the new version, we need to make the search field smaller. We need to focus on the different types of what they need to be concerned about, like. This is your cases, your new cases, this is your deal cases, this is your approvals, and so on. And then also the possibility to set your favorites and so on, and make that even more visible. Yeah, and also highlighting a little bit about the part with is our system up and running, and so on. And
here you can see the one that is, of course, there's more pages to this, but this is the personalized view, right? It's a lot of information that is key to the person, and I think that's the important.
Yeah.
To, of course, unifying first, but you weren't done. You wanted to take it to the next level and personalize the experience even more, and really listening. What are the key things they need to both know, but also what is the feedback, right?
Yeah, so say hello to Bertel. Bertel, actually, yeah. So here he is. He's kind of saying that here you can figure out everything. Look into this. And also we'll have a quick one to the chat and so on as well. Like, we think we have kind of all of the one of the important things was that everyone, like, all of the important things were shown in one picture. You don't need to scroll a lot to figure out everything. We kind of show it in one picture. So that was also kind of one of the key things to have that in place as well.
I think that is important as a modern day, and with Gen Z and the other people coming into the workplace, then it's key to then give as much information in the less amount of clicks as possible. I think that is very key.
Yeah, and also this version is also for mobile phones as well. That was also important because we have a lot of mechanics that have iPads. So they needed to have an easy way to click into seeing all the things that we see in a good way in the computer. So that was also important for us to have a good view within the mobile phone as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and we're really happy with this one. Even though I'm really happy with this one, I don't think we're done yet.
You're not done yet.
No.
So what's next on the agenda then for this?
I'm not sure for this one yet, but I'll leave it for now. I have other couple of things I need to do before I get on the next level of version 3. But for sure, we are not done. It could probably be done even easier for the end users. So we just need to, we'll use this a while now and then see if we could do something more, if something other smart thing pops up. Yeah. So that's kind of my biggest thing that even though we have kind of had the focus on this portal for a while, we're not quite done with it yet. I don't know if we ever will be done with that portal. It's probably always something you could create easier or change a little bit or something.
Make it more personalized.
Yeah.
But of course, the content is also important, right? And that is something you're working on right now.
Yeah, we do. So it's we're trying to focus a little bit on the knowledge base. There we have not used a lot of time yet, but the knowledge base to give it more value for the end users to maybe not create a case, but then they could probably read a knowledge article or something like that. Yeah.
Because you're really good at providing services out to all of the dealers, but even though you're so far ahead of many others, there's always something you can get better at, and that's a good thing, and you can share that knowledge and get knowledge from others on that part as well.
Yeah, that's true. So we're constantly improving all the areas.
That is good, and I think that is key both for the portal wise and also the content. I think it's the key thing, that it's a never-ending story, and you can always get better both on simplifying the portal experience, the employee experience, and also how they consume content.
Yeah,
I think that is really key, and giving high-quality content, and especially in this AI age, then good quality content is even more key than anything else, and being set up for start leveraging that in the future.
Yeah, true.
All right, let's maybe we can start looking. Okay, so what are some key learnings that you have taken from, as you have then gone from one IT portal and turning off email, going to the 3 first ones, going to then all the way to 18 portals, going back to version 1, and then going into version 2, and now looking forward and going into improving even more. So what are your key learnings, and what else can you give out to other customers who maybe haven't even started on the first one or looking at expanding?
Yeah, as you probably saw, start small. Start with IT if that helps. Like start with small ones and then build on from there, and push a little bit, but then let the business come to you. I think that's kind of my main. And also listen to the employees within all the different departments to figure out a bigger picture of what would fit more people, not just let the stakeholders kind of figure out how to do it and what needs they have, but also kind of look at the end users and see, okay, does this fit you as well? I think that will be kind of and as I said, don't push too much, because then you could probably be a little bit it doesn't always go your way.
No.
And dare to be tough and unpopular. You don't need to make all the popular decisions to make it, but on closing off the email was not popular, of course, because they like to do that. But I think that kind of is the things that keeps us going forward, that we and as from an IT perspective, we kind of see the whole organization and try to kind of please in several areas and not only one by one. So dare to be unpopular, I think.
Yes, and
It's
then,
kind of one of the keys, even though I don't like it. But and also then again, you are kind of being popular as well, because within ServiceNow and within the out-of-the-box functionality, there are so many possibilities. So I think I also learned that I most often being able to say yes to the questions they ask for. If they have a differences, a need or something, I very often can say yes based on the out-of-the-box functionality, actually. And that kind of gives you the popularity again. So some pros and cons with being,
That's for sure, because when they come with requirements, when you actually get them on board, right?
Yeah.
And then the answer is pretty much always yes, we can do that.
Yeah.
Then you suddenly, a realization by them that, okay, the tool could probably do more than they first think, or especially out in some businesses where ServiceNow is maybe not the most popular tool, because they probably don't know what's lying behind under their feet, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, and like giving the possibilities to everyone, and also, as I said earlier, with the quarterly meetings as well, during their journey within ServiceNow as well, kind of so they feel safe, like they know that, okay, in the next meeting I could ask this question or this question, and then seeing that how they grow as well with how they learn everything about the system. And instead of me answering all the questions, they actually could ask the questions between themselves and get the answers as well, without me even involving. So I think that's also some of my key learnings, to follow up as well. Don't just give it to them and then drop it. They need the following up, and also start small. That's kind of also been my key rule the whole time. Start with small things, and then when they have been familiar with it, then start building on that, because then they are a bit more mature to start with other things as well.
Yeah, and then you can expand to more and more functionality, and then showing them more and more of the power.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Any other key takeaways that you want to highlight now at getting close to the Q&A?
I don't know if there anything. Is there anything else I've forgotten now?
No, I think you covered a lot of the key things. Of course, hopefully there are some questions, so maybe we can jump to that part, and then I will need some help from Sasha, who will be reading them out. And then please, of course, everyone do write questions, and we'll try to answer them. And if we can't answer them, then we'll figure that out as well.
Yeah, we'll figure it out then.
Yes. Thank you so much, Camilla and Sandra, for your presentation. It was really interesting to learn or to listen to. Before we have questions from the audience, but before I also have 2 questions for the audience. So I will just start out with a poll, and the reason for this is if you are considering this journey, as well as you are, Camilla, then we would really much like to know if we are able to contact you after. I don't know why I cannot publish this poll.
Maybe take the first question first, then, and then we can publish it while.
We have a question from Kuma, who asked about some of the challenges. What were the biggest challenges, if it was about branding, colors, consistency of themes, local processes differing from country to country, or if it was the GDPR privacy compliance?
Quite a big question, actually.
Yeah, it's quite a big question. Yeah.
Well, we are. We don't have a lot of locations without Norway, so it's kind of within Norway then. And the biggest challenge what were they actually? It was kind of not building it, at least. That was kind of the easy part, I think.
Building and branding.
And branding and everything. That was,
yeah, the
that was the easiest part.
specialist doing that part. It's more on the process part, right?
Yeah, the process
Getting
part. The
people and the different areas, right? That's usually what you spend the most time doing, is getting the governance around how should the portal be, and who should be in the governing part, and then getting the people to actually help you with how a taxonomy should be and these type of things.
Yeah, and of course we have security rules within payroll, HR, and so on. So, but that was also not the difficult thing, I think, and with the GRC as well. So our GRC is a separate one within. That's kind of the one not out of the box functionality we have, but except that everything is kind of out of the box functionality.
Yeah.
But I think we kind of, as I said, it maybe sound weird, but I think ServiceNow is so easy to work with. So I don't think anything like with the technical part has been a really big challenge. It was more, as you said, with how to figure out how to do it to please most people.
Or at least the end users.
Yeah, well, at least the end users. That's kind of the most tricky part, I think.
Yeah. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yes. And then we have a question from Philip. It says, how is the maintenance covered with so many different brands? If one brand has a demand suggestion on new function in the portal, please elaborate how you proceed to then. All agree, or did you decide, or?
Even though we have different brands, they are set up in the same way, actually. But they are kind of, and if they have some brand specific, they are still kind of, the setup is in the same way, but they have different forms within their in their view, actually. So the main thing is not a big deal, actually.
Minimal to none, I would say.
Yeah. And then if they come with something, we have some of them that needed something specific, and then I actually asked the other brands, is this something that's needed for you guys as well? And then or does it bother you that it's there, like it was a suggestion? Then and then they said, no, that doesn't bother us, or this means something else in our, then we could sort it out as something that's specific for that one brand. But most of all, we have the same setup for everyone, except the different forms within the different categories, the mega menu.
Yeah, within the different services that they provide. Within that one, they can have differences, but the main thing and the governance you're holding right in your team is do you want to have a high governance that each of the different brands can't do whatever they want on the look and feel and what should be visible? Only on the level, that's where they can, on the different services, that's where they can give out something more specific for their needs.
Yeah, so I kind of decides how it should look in general, and then, as you said, that's on that level they are able to kind of have some differences.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will try again with this poll.
Now it worked, it seems.
Now it works, yes. So I'm just interested in knowing if we are able to reach out to you after this webinar for a short discussion about Employee Center. No strings attached. And while we are waiting for other questions, please feel free to write them in the chat. And while we're waiting, I actually have one more, because we have a lot of upcoming webinars as well. And some of you might already be invited for these, but I just want to know if you would like to be invited for our upcoming events as well.
And if there's no questions, then maybe you can, we'll still be here, but if there come in questions, but maybe you can talk about, what are these upcoming webinars then, Sasha?
Yes, I actually just got a new question from Yes.
Yes,
He
please.
says, could you please share any metrics or analysis that demonstrate the impact of both employers under one portal and the decision to disable mail access on the business? Additionally, were you able to show that these changes resulted in improvements for the business?
So the key metrics, we can start with the email one first then.
Yeah.
So what, did you have any key metrics or KPIs that you measured when you, or was it more feedback that you started gathering out from the users when you turned off email to going into only be using ServiceNow or the portal?
Yeah, it was more that we decided to create a more efficient support. We needed to have the information in place to help the people with the cases, and we saw that a lot of times when they are using email, we are not getting enough information. So we kind of just decided without having any metrics or anything.
You didn't measure anything, but
no, we didn't measure anything.
But you could probably then measure within your team and from the feedback you got as well as that, okay, you didn't have a specific metric or KPI you measured.
No.
But I think potentially the amount of messages back and forth, you can probably see that went down if you would measure it.
Yeah.
Because less asking questions, also less reassignment, I'm guessing, is one of the key metrics that you usually see from going from email to actually having them in the system as well. And you had also other partners, right?
Yeah.
That needed to integrate. And when you have to then get that data structure, it's much easier when you actually have it in a structured way.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that was kind of it on that.
Kind of it. And then on the employee center, then of course you had a lot of research. I'm not sure if you had any key metrics, but you had key metrics and analytics from going from Employee Center version 1 and Employee Center version 2. Then you used ServiceNow Analytics to really understand and see the differences.
Yeah.
And then of course you're still doing that today, right?
Yep, that's true.
So you're using those ServiceNow KPIs to then measure that, and as well as using a lot of persona research on actually listening to the user. Those were the main KPIs and metrics you were using in the part, right?
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
We have 2 more questions.
Yes, please.
Katja is asking, what is your role, Camilla?
My role is everything. I am the owner. I am the admin. Yeah. Within Bertel O, it's only me that's hired to work with ServiceNow, actually. So yeah, and I am kind of my role is support and system support. Yeah.
You're the product owner.
Product owner and admin and everything. Yeah, within ServiceNow.
Thank
you. I'm the decision maker as well.
Yeah.
Then Magnus asked if you have considered using Employee Center Pro.
Is this a sales? Not yet, because I think we have a lot of opportunities within the portal we have for now. And as I said, I like out of the box, and of course, Pro is also out of the box. But I would like to use all of the things we have within the licenses we have now, and we haven't fully used that yet. So, and at this moment, I don't see the need for Pro, but maybe later in the future. As I said, we would like to expand and evolve and see how the system, what we need or what our business needs. So maybe in the future it will be Pro, but at the moment now, I think we're satisfied with the standard one. Yeah.
I think from my opinion as well, you come a long way with the standard, and I think it's very beneficial to start with it, to really start getting them over and using a lot of the base functionality, and then it's very easy to then, okay, are there certain functionalities which has a great value for your company? That's where the pro functionality comes, especially if you're going to use it as an intranet, all this thing, creating more content. That's where the value from pro is. And at the moment, at least, you should say you have a lot of things you want to get better at first. And it's key to get those things first, and then having the governance, and then you can start looking at, okay,
Yeah.
what is the new functionalities coming? You're one of the forerunners on a lot of things, and then of course if the right functionality comes, then I'm guessing you'll be eager to then try them out and see if there's value to be gained for your employees, right?
Yeah, of course. And if you had asked me that question a couple of years ago, I would say, yeah, we will go for that straight away because I would like to do everything at once. But as the years go by, I have learned that one step at a time, that's enough. And also you'll learn as you go. So I think for now, that's enough for us, but maybe in the future. Yeah.
Very good question.
Thank you. We have two more.
Perfect.
Mohammed is asking, did you follow only out of the box?
Yeah, actually in the employee center we did. I don't think
almost.
we had.
There's one thing.
There's
one thing
oh,
that
maybe
is
we
not.
did some...
There's one thing that is not out of the box, and that is the mega menu.
Yeah.
Or it's using the out of the box taxonomy. It's using the how it's set up, but the view when you see it is then using some custom functionality that was needed for the specific use case.
Yeah, with the brands.
With the brands, because the as Camilla told you, it's a certain complexity around the brands and how to showcase this. And that was early in the time. That was even before Employee Center Pro come with something similar, but then it was developed then by the cloud people then. Got the need, and that's something you still use today, right?
Of course. And as you said, that's kind of the only thing, and it was highly needed. So it's like always look into
the benefit.
Like it's a nice to have or is it need to have? And this was a need to have. So that's
then you develop and something. But pretty much everything else is a lot of branding, right?
Yeah, a lot of branding.
And then leveraging the out of the box functionality.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Yes, we have two more questions. I will take them chronologically. Peter asks, what tactics have you used to drive engagement with the platform? Better content, video?
With the
driving like engagement. So I'm not sure. It's a place where people get or they find everything they need. It's the one place they go when they have a need, right?
Yeah,
so that's the main goal of the portal, right? If you have an approval or if you need something, then you know this is the place you go.
Yeah, we're trying to create one portal for everything. So regardless of which question you have, if you have a question regarding your salary, if you have a question regarding your computer is not working, or if you need to order a system or whatever, or you need to buy another phone or something, then you will go into ServiceNow, our support portal, as we call it, and hopefully you will figure it out. You can also order food for meetings, cakes, flowers. We're trying to use it as a one place to reach.
It's a one-stop shop to get things, but it's not. You don't use it as an intranet as today, as you have a separate intranet. So you don't have as much engagement in that way, but you have people know where to go, and that's how they communicate on the tickets. And
they do. And as I said, the different departments are kind of being helped by other departments. Like if you need to, as I said, if you want to know something about your salary, then you need to go into the support portal. And if you have an issue or you need to buy something, you need to go into the support portal. So it kind of engages everyone, because everyone at some point needs to know about something. So
And then you have the seamless working in the background as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully that answers somewhat the question.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then Mohammed asks, did you meet any problems when you implemented out-of-the-box functionality?
No, I don't kind of.
You have kept it quite clean, right, with out of the box, and or haven't just done some configuration, but of course you had it in a long time, so there's always something. But
yeah, but I don't
still,
think in the latest time we didn't hit any bumps or anything. And I would say, like, the first time we sorry, with the mic, with the first time we were upgrading, I was so afraid. But then upgrading is not the problem. It was like everything we switched, we upgraded, and it's like, okay, did something happen? No, nothing happened. Okay, everything was fine.
Yeah.
So also that's kind of, I think that's the reward you get from using mostly out of the box. The upgrades goes really easily. And yeah,
that's
takes
the key,
short
right?
amount of time and works perfectly afterwards as well.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
We have time for the last question.
Yeah.
With only 3 minutes left. It's Annabelle who asks, I know you said content is important. Do you think a video knowledge base could benefit Bertel O Steen employees?
A video knowledge base.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one.
So it's more that you start posting videos in the knowledge base, then like knowledge articles with videos, and it depends on what kind of content is important for the employees, right? And probably not at the start, but in the future, that's.
No, we also kind of have the like we have a knowledge base outside of service now, where we are using kind of a gaming approach towards
gamification.
Learning. Towards learning. But I don't, as I said, we haven't been that good at knowledge yet. We're starting to really dig into it now so I think for us, as I said, start easy or start with the little ones. So I would start with the articles, and then maybe I see the benefits of video knowledge as well. But for now, I think I would go with straight out articles with information, and then maybe look at video later on. But
so
for now,
supporting thing.
As a supporting thing. But as for now, I think the articles will give us the most benefit, because then we can start using other nice functionality as well within ServiceNow that will help us regarding both for consultants that are handling cases, but also for the end users that will try to create a case, but maybe could read the article and then don't
solve
have
it
to,
themselves. Better self-service.
Yeah. So I think that will be our, as I said, baby steps. Start with the easy ones, and then make it more difficult with
or make
with
them help themselves, really.
Yeah.
All right, then 1 more minute, and I'll switch to you, Sasha, on the upcoming events.
And thank you so much for everything. It was a great presentation, and I hope all of you got a lot of stuff and inspiration out of this great session, and also that your answers have been answered, or the questions have been answered. So thank you very much for participating in this, Camilla. It has been a really pleasure to listen to your experience with this. We have some